so much multiplayer, because like GTA has been giving out, and I think all the content's going to be free too, like all the updates and shit. Like when they keep adding stuff.
They'll just do the same thing they did with GTA, where they make all their money off microtransactions with the shark cards.
Which was so much fucking money. It's so much. It's outrageous.
Yeah, I don't think no media ever has made more money than GTA 5.
Yeah, it made $6 billion.
Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's
no,
true.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. No media has made as much money as GTA 5.
It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
So of course they have to like go deep into the online stuff for Red Dead, just based on pure like numbers. Yeah, but I haven't seen like anything about the online. I don't think they've had much like to say about it yet.
I think because they're doing like such a big story that they want people to care about the story first before they're just like, oh yeah, the online's what you're actually going to be playing. Because I feel like
that's what happened to me on GTA. I didn't play the story at all. I went straight to online.
Yeah, and they spent like that campaign for GTA is like a pretty good sized campaign. Like, it will take you a few days to beat. But oh shit, dude, I know we talked about it last week, but I finally got a freighter in No Man's Sky, and let me tell you, I'm rich now. I have so much more money.
I didn't play No Man's Sky until this week, and it's actually really fun. It lived up to Daryl's hype. It's a very fun game. You should play it if you get the chance.
The level of fun you have when you get like before freighter to freighter is exponential, because I grinded for like 21 hours to get 2 million units in the game, and within 2 hours of owning the freighter, I was at 8 million. And you just do regular ass missions, and then you like level up, and you get like, instead of money, it gives you random ass components that you could use for crafting, but I don't have the things you can make with it. I don't have the blueprints or whatever, so I just sold it, and it's like, this is worth millions and millions of dollars. So it was like, fuck yeah, I have like so many ships. You can like send your freighter on missions or whatever, and so it makes you units whenever you do shit. So it's like 100%, like, it almost makes the game. Because the grinding does get tedious, but it's so fucking fun.
It sounds fun, and the game's just like beautiful.
It is gorgeous.
General. It's very good looking, similar to Red Dead.
And it's the biggest game of all time. Like, literally, no game comes close to how big this game is.
But it's cool because you can still play with your friends.
You can play with your friends, and it's super shit. Like, the system for playing with your friends is so easy, because Aaron had never played before, but like, it puts you in different systems at first. Like, everyone starts on a different random ass planet. And I joined his game, and I was immediately on his planet. I didn't have to travel there, and that was like so much easier, because normally you have to like get fuel so you can jump through hyperspace to like go to different galaxies. But I was just on it, and then when I went back to my game, I was on my planet. I didn't have to travel at all. So they did the multiplayer right. It's not a hassle to play with friends.
Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff in No Man's Sky and Red Dead 2.
What's another huge game that's coming out very soon? I mean, we talked about Spider-Man, talked about No Man's Sky. You have the Switch, right?
Yes, sir, I do.
You gonna get Pokemon? I know Owen's been talking my ear off about Pokemon.
Yeah, Owen loves Pokemon. Shout out Owen, friend of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's very excited for Pokemon. All of our friends seem to think Pokemon's like the greatest thing ever, and I don't like disagree with them. I just I don't have the same.
You don't have the drive for it. You don't care that much.
Well, it's just like they all played it as kids, you know. So it's like the nostalgia, yeah, for them. And for me, like, I played one game when I was a kid, and I wasn't even super into it like they were. So it's just like, yeah, I mean, I'll play it to, like, I'll get it just so I can play with you guys, but not super into it. But I love the Switch. There's a lot. Mario Party, love that game. Super Smash Brothers, fun game as well. All kinds of fun games on Switch. It's gonna be
like Smash is like a kind of big esports game, right? Like, that one's huge.
It is, but I think most people are still playing the GameCube version. I forget what it's called. Melee or whatever. Yeah, that's like.
Is there even online on the GameCube?
No, there's not. It's just like I'm pretty sure they have big tournaments with like a bunch of GameCubes, and they all play that version. Like, it's just the most popular version. I have no idea why. There's a bunch of like newer versions of the same game that are like better and updated, but I don't know. They just like that version.
I think it's because they change out the maps. I think the OG map, like the Melee maps, are honestly like kind of like my favorite. They're tight. They're tight as fuck. Yeah, but
they bring back maps a lot though.
They do, but I don't think it's like to the extent like I think they do try and update them or whatever. Like you know how they did Nuketown 2025 instead of just here's Nuketown.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I haven't played the Black Ops 4 beta, but I recently, like a few months ago, I got Black Ops 3, and I started playing through the campaign while the multiplayer installed or whatever. And
yikes! I didn't play the campaign.
You never play campaigns, do you?
I don't. I play for the fun, Daryl. I don't play for the story unless I'm playing an actual story game like Spider-Man or I don't know, The Last of Us. Those type of games.
Yeah, I'm stupid hyped for Spider-Man still. Like
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna disappear for like a year when that game drops.
Oh yeah, well at least for the week. I'm beating it in the week. I wanted to beat it in the night, but there's just like so much stuff in that game apparently.
Oh yeah, no, dude, you're not gonna beat that shit in a night.
I know. Well, I wanted to. That was the dream, but there's like they've just.
Why would you want to beat it in a night? I love spacing out. Like when I get excited for a game, I love spacing it out. So it's like
I do too, but even still, like it's just I don't know.
I like getting enveloped in the world, so I think about.
That's what I'm saying, and I think that's the best way. Like that's the best way to be enveloped in the world is to just take it all in one sitting and like not take yourself out of it.
Okay. So what do you think the future of gaming is going to look like? You think we were talking about this the other day. You don't think it's going to be Ready Player One stuff, right?
I don't know. I think I don't know, dude. Like that it just doesn't seem feasible to me. I don't see people playing.
You see, I don't think so either. What I'm thinking is more like instead of like where you move and the character moves, I think it's going to be more of like a neural thing. So like you put your brain into the digital body, and so you think whatever the character's thinking, and you control that. That's bad audio.
God bless you.
That's fucking bad
God
audio.
Bless you.
Fuck.
We'll see. We'll try to edit that in post, ladies and gentlemen.
I hope so. That's terrible audio. I'm gonna go get a drink. You keep talking, Aaron. You fill this dead space, so we get a drink.
All right. All right, everybody, while Daryl gets a drink, this podcast is brought to you by Audible. That's right, audible.com. Everybody gets a free book on audible.com. Go down to the description below, click the link to go to audible.com/freesocks and put code FREESOCKS.
Jesus.
This week I've been listening to Why A Students Work for C Students by Robert Kiyosaki.
Are you seriously reading
that book? Check that out on Audible. Yeah. Well, I'm listening to it on audible.com.
I'm listening to a book, but I don't want to talk about it because it's a really fucked up book.
Okay, well, maybe we'll have once Audible actually sponsors us, we'll talk about our audiobook listening.
If you are looking for a really fucked up story that's like 100% true, but like the most fucked up thing you'll ever hear, listen to Pimp by Iceberg Slim. It's literally the most harrowing tale of like life in the 70s in America and just how gruesome the prison system and the ghetto can be.
Yeah, that's not at all what my Audible book is about. But that's fine. We'll speak of that at another time. I don't even remember what we were talking about before you had an asthma attack, Daryl.
We were talking about video game stuff. So I was talking about like how instead of like having a suit like in Ready Player One where like you have to move and you're basically doing the motion capture for a character like in real time. I was thinking like a headset where like it's like a neural thing, so your brain sort of links with the character in game, so you don't have to move, but you control all their movements.
Maybe. I mean, gaming like could get to that point. Thing. That's just that technology seems so far off. That's super far off. Never. I don't even think in our lifetime could it get to that point.
No, I think because they have these things like a few years back, I saw these headsets where like it took your brain power and made it so it activated a magnet in a ball, and so you could lift the ball up and down using your head. You couldn't tell it where to go, but like it registered your brain power, and then it it sent a signal to the ball. So there's the technology to like read it and then translate it somewhere else, but getting very specific, like certain thoughts for a character, I think that's something that like would be too like that's difficult. So you know how like in VR difficult. It's like just the control, like you have a controller to actually move around so you don't have to walk.
Yes, sir.
I think it could start off with something like that and then get more and more hands-free as time progresses. So you have the
that's
headset
where we
already.
are now, isn't it?
Yeah, but like instead of like you having to move your arms around and stuff to do it, it's just sort of like instead of like handsets, it's just sort of like you look around and you tell
like
it where
in
to
your
go.
head.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Maybe eventually, I don't know. That just seems so like crazy. The real question is, will VR take over like console gaming as it is like today? I don't know. Maybe at some point, but I don't know. It's hard to tell right now.
I think you have to have like a really good breakout VR game for it to happen, because right now everyone's being very tentative about it, you know? Like if Skyrim had come out like launched at VR, I think people would have fallen in love with VR off the bat. Because like because Skyrim's released on so many different systems and stuff, the people have already seen it all and played it all, but like as immersive as Skyrim is, if you had done that in a fully first-person experience where you're seeing it through your own eyes or whatever, that would have changed the whole way people look at VR. Like, they would have wanted all gaming to come like that.
That's true, that's true. Well, the problem with VR right now is mostly accessibility and, immersion, like you just talked about. It's just not there yet, like how it is with a TV and a controller.
Yeah, it's not like, I don't think it's for every genre either. Like, I don't think it's for puzzle games. I don't think it's for shooters. I don't think it's for a lot of shooters. I don't think it's for
shooters eventually, but puzzle games, like there's some pretty neat puzzle games on VR. I've heard. I don't like the closest thing I've tried out to VR is when you and I went to Fry's Electronics. So I don't really I can't speak much of VR, but I've heard about some good puzzle games on VR.
I just think like strategy games, like what Logan plays, like Kingdom or Crusade or something.
Oh yeah, definitely not those types of games.
Yeah, no, I think it has to start off with like very immersive RPGs. So like you. Like, and the story built around, like, you. You know, and I think another thing that bums me out about gaming is, like, RPGs stop meaning, like, role-playing and more, like, character customization and leveling up. You know? Like, I don't think that makes the whole RPG. Like, RPG should mean, like, your choices and actions influence the way the game goes. And I love games that have that system built in where it's like, alright, I'm picking to choose these guys over these guys. That's going to affect the end credits scene. That's going to affect the end of the game. Like, my favorite RPG of all time is Dragon Age Origins, because it's like, if you play it a certain way, you could wind up being the king of the country. And that's just one way for the game to end. It's like the most varied experience. Like, every single playthrough you have is going to be vastly different, based on, like, your class, your playstyle, and your choices. And I love that and I want that in all RPG games.
Well, that's interesting, Daryl. I'm not much of a RPG gamer myself, so I can't really speak on the topic, but yeah, I mean, I could see VR going that way. I could also see it lending itself to games that I play, like the shooter games and I don't know, just any of the massive multiplayer online games or whatever they call it.
You think VR should be should be like an MMO thing?
Well, I mean, eventually, not now, but like once it's more accessible and like immersive, like. Because walking right now in VR, like, you can play Skyrim in VR, but you have to, like, point and click where you go. And I heard it's, like, nauseating.
Oh, yeah. And, like, there is, like, a learning curve with the technology, but I do think, like, eventually we'll get to where it's, like, you have to work out the bugs, but I think eventually you'll get to a point where it's, like, you have a controller that does your movements or whatever, but, like, when you're seeing something, like, when you see to look around in the world, like, that's you. The only thing that's different is, like, you have to just tell yourself where to go.
Yeah, that's fair. I just don't know how they'll do it, but that's,
I think that's just a button system. It's like, I don't know.
But that's still, like, moving in a picture, like, so close to your face and feeling like you're moving but not actually moving, that's what makes you sick.
Oh, yeah, it's disorienting as fuck.
Yeah, so you need to find a way to actually move, like the little treadmill thing in that movie, Ready Player One.
The treadmill thing's, it's like a cool concept, but I don't know, like, imagine, like, if you, like, okay, say you get scared or something because some monster shows up and you just want to run away. Are you just going to take off on that treadmill?
Yeah, no. I mean, you could press off. I don't know. That's why, let the engineers and scientists figure that out, dude. Let them figure it out.
You're 100% right. We've talked everyone's ears off about video games, and we're not a video game
don't care anymore.
podcast.
But that's fine. No. That's fine.
Yeah, no, this is
That's why we're moving on to our next topic.
You want to dive into the questions because we got like a bunch of questions.